my friends, my name is Lindsey and I ran the blog Books for Christian Girls. Welcome back to the little corner of the internet where I talk mainly about Christian fiction. Today I am talking about my anticipated releases for the first half of 2025. This is one of my favorite videos to film every year because not only am I excited for the new year and these new books, I'm also wondering where in the world did the prior year just went. And that's definitely how I feel this year as well. But as always with this video that I do every year, twice a year, I'm not going to be telling y'all really much about the book besides what interests me. If you would like to read the description of the book, what the back cover, the blurb of the book, I will have the Amazon links and the Goodreads links to all of these books down below for you to check out if they are available. Some of these later on in the year, I don't have those links, so I'll link whatever I can. And then just know that I haven't read any of these books, so I don't know what the content's going to be in them. And typically, every year, there's at least one dud on this list. There's always one that's like, I wish I never had talked about that book. Oh well. And so hopefully that's not going to happen, but it's happened basically every year. So I think it's fair to assume it will continue to happen. So all that said, I am not giving these like a stamp of approval. Definitely check them out. These are ones I'm interested in. I'm going to try to read around their release day and put out a review about them. So hopefully they will be a success, but we will just have to wait to see. So we'll find out. There's about 26, 28 books on this list though, so it's quite a lot. We're going to go ahead and get started with January, and releasing on the 2nd is A Noble Assassin by Abigail K. Harris. This I really don't know anything about besides it's a Three Little Pigs retelling, and for some reason that just fascinates me. Okay, obviously the title does too, A Noble Assassin, like that's like a moral dilemma in that title right there. So I'm intrigued just by that alone. But then seeing a Three Little Pigs retelling that doesn't make sense in my head, especially with like assassin, I'm very intrigued because I'm just like, I have no idea. And this is actually part of the Cornerstone series, which is they're calling it new adult. And I think that's because all of the characters so far have been like later teens, early 20s so far. I think it's called that, but it's not new adult in content. It has been very squeaky clean from what I've read. I've read 3 of them as of filming, and I've enjoyed all of them. So I want to continue this series as they release. So most of these books on the first couple months are these books in the series, which is fine. So also releasing on the 7th is A Noble Loyalty, and this is by Olivia Godfrey. The cover of this one is stunning. I might say it's my favorite out of the series, maybe, possibly. And this is a Wounded Lion retelling. I don't even know, why is the lion wounded? What happened? I have no idea. I've never heard of this fairy tale before, but I'm very curious. I haven't read anything by this author before. Most of these authors are new to me in this collection, in this standalone series. And I don't know, I'm just excited for it. Releasing on the 14th is another one in that series, and that's A Noble Intent by Kendall. Hoxsey, maybe is how you pronounce the author's last name. I'm sorry if it's not right, but this one looks really pretty. It is a Little Red Riding Hood retelling, and I haven't read enough of those. Honestly, I've probably only read 1. So I feel like I ought to read more, and it's in this series. I've been really impressed with them so far, like I said. They've had a lot of Christian faith content, which has been really nice. So I'm looking forward to reading the rest of these. Now, to take a break from that series, also releasing on the 14th, is Of Song and Wonder. This is a clean fiction book by Robyn. Sarty, maybe is how we pronounce the author's last name. Number 1, cover gorgeous, and then you can already tell it's a fairy tale retelling, right? And it's a retelling mashup of Rapunzel and Peter Pan. And I don't know, those two just like, that tickles my brain just right. Like obviously I'm down for any kind of Rapunzel retelling. That's kind of very much my cup of tea. But adding in Peter Pan, and then, I don't know. I'm intrigued. The cover is so pretty. I love that she's got a violin on the cover as well. Like there's going to be music elements. I don't know. I'm just here for it, and I think the cover is just so pretty. So am I judging things by the cover? Yes, but okay, now I am actually just now seeing that this is a sequel to A Gracious Hope by this author. So which is that the one that was in? Yes, that was the one that's A Hope Ever After. Okay, I'm going to have to read that one first. Do I own that one? I do own it. Okay, we're good. We're good. I've been slowly buying all of the ones in that series this year, and I haven't read a single one yet. But I will, and obviously I have to read that one prior because this is technically book 2. Okay, so a Sleeping Beauty retelling and then a mashup of Rapunzel and Peter Pan. I'm game. I am so game, so those will be fun to read. Releasing on January 21st is Serial Burn by Lynette Eason, and this is book 3 in the Lake City Heroes series. I liked book 1, I liked book 2 a little less, but this is a friend group, and all these women have such insane, intense kind of careers, especially being romantic suspense in the Christian fiction genre. They kind of have to. But the main girl in this one is a fire chief and a fire marshal, and I thought that would be really interesting to read, but it's also just I want to continue the series. Book 4 is releasing in the last half of this new year in 2025, and that one's cover just like makes me gasp. I'm very much looking forward to that one, but I gotta read this one first. I mean, you probably can read them out of order, but you're gonna get ruined on who ends up with who. But I mean, it's romantic suspense. You kind of know. You kind of know who's going to end up with who. Releasing on January 21st is another one in the Cornerstone series, and that is A Noble Rescuer by K.R. Mattson. This is a Snow Queen retelling, but just a little blurb right here, like this is all that's on Amazon as of filming this, and that's she's the restless daughter of a renowned thief, and he's a desperate bounty hunter searching for a lost prince. Okay. I'm so intrigued how that's going to work in with the Snow Queen. So far, I really haven't had a Snow Queen retelling wow me yet, and I think that is because of the Frozen movies have just kind of ruined me. So I'm really curious how this one will stack up. I'm excited. So on the 28th of January, we have A Noble Life by C.K. Heartwing. I think that is such a fun last name. And the cover of this one is really pretty. This is number 14 technically in the Cornerstone series, though you can read them separately. And it's a Snow White and the Red Rose. Oh no, Snow White and Rose Red retelling. I always get those mixed up. I think I have that messed up elsewhere too. Interesting. So I haven't really read too many of those. I didn't realize it was different from the normal Snow White, but it is in fact different from the normal Snow White. So I've read a few. I haven't loved any truly yet, so I'm hoping maybe this one will turn the tides on that. And yeah, that one's releasing at the end of January. In February, I have 7 books on my list, and releasing on the 1st is Sabotage at Cedar Creek by Miss Janice Thompson. As y'all probably know, Janice Thompson is one of my favorite authors, so obviously I am very much looking forward to this one. I think the cover is just so cute and springy, so I'm very excited, very springy, summerish. May. It reminds me of May in Texas, so I'm looking forward to reading this one, but it is part of the Red Truck Mysteries series. This is book 2. Book 1 was Tracking Tilly, and I enjoyed that one, so I'm looking forward to this one, but it seems like it has something to do, obviously, with Sabotage, and there's a fire set or something's being destroyed. I don't really know. I try not to read too much about these, or I get so excited and then I'm disappointed that I have to wait, so I'm not quite sure what this one's fully about, but I'm looking forward to it. Going back to the Cornerstone series, on the 4th of February, A Noble Friend by Kendra E. Ardnek, maybe is how you pronounce the author's last name. That book is releasing. That's a Bluebeard retelling. This is the only one I think out of the series I'm a little nervous about based off what I know about it, because it's got the tiny little blurb that says he'll follow her to the ends of the earth, even if she marries another man. But what happens when her husband proves to be a monster? I'm a little leery on that. A little bit, because like but I don't know. Bluebeard is a weird story. I mean, most fairy tales are weird stories, right? But that one makes me just a little nervous. Like, okay, how's that going to end with the whole, she's married to a monster, but you've got this other guy chasing after her. I'm not sure about that one, but I am going to give it a try. I'm going to give it a try. On February 4th, one book I'm trying to like tone down my excitement for is releasing, and I'm so nervous about this book because it is kind of a secular book, and it's not kind of, it is a secular book, and it's published by Disney, so like, we have maybe not red flags, but there's orange flags probably, and that's Wings of Starlight by Allison Saft. I have no idea about this author. I know nothing really except that this is a Pixie Hollow related book, and I grew up on Pixie Hollow. That was a huge part of like my elementary school years, was Pixie Hollow, the online game, and then the Tinkerbell movies and the Tinkerbell books. Like, that was such a big part of my life. So this has me so excited because this is about Queen Clarion, and then the possible romantic interest that was the king of the fairies from the north side. I can't, like, honestly, y'all, it's been so long since I have been in this world, so long, But with that one movie where Tinkerbell finds out she has twin, I can't think of the title of it, I'll put it here. This was very hinted in that movie. And so I'm so intrigued. Like, I feel like it's going to be ruined. There's going to be something in here that just, like, is going to be terrible and just, like, annoying. But it's like that star-crossed romance kind of thing. And I'm just like, oh, man. I don't know. It looks like they're aiming it for YA with the 12 to 18 reading years on Goodreads. We'll see if that's accurate. I mean, on Amazon. So we'll see if that's accurate. This cover is stunning. Just the font they used for Wings of Starlight, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So I really, really, really hope it's good, but honestly, I'm expecting to be horribly disappointed. Reality here. Releasing on February 11th is, I believe, the last official book in the Cornerstone series, and that is A Noble Comfort. And this is actually by my dear book friend, Katja H. I'm not going to pronounce her last name because I know I'm not going to say it right, so I'm so sorry, girl. I meant to message you before I filmed this video and I forgot, so I'm so sorry. But here's the gorgeous cover. It is a Bluebird retelling. I know nothing about this story, and I'm just really excited about it though after seeing all the teasers she's done on Instagram and like the little behind the scenes things. So I'm really looking forward to this one, and I'm just really looking forward to that one. I know nothing about a Bluebird fairy tale at all, but I'm curious, so I'm looking forward to reading it. And then the next week, there's going to be a Noble collection, and it's by various authors from the Cornerstone series. And it's a bunch of novellas that somehow make their books connecting to other books or to each other's books. I'm not quite sure, but if I'm going to read the whole series, I want to read that one as well. On February 18th as well, Truth Cursed by Angie Dickinson comes out, and this is a book published by Enclave, so I'm not quite sure. Is it Christian fiction? Is it clean fiction? I'm not quite sure, but I do think this maybe is a standalone, which has me excited because they've been publishing a lot of series. At least it feels like that to me, and so I'm looking forward to a standalone where hopefully I get all the answers boom, in one book. That would be lovely. This has to do with like boarding school stuff, which, okay, that's a buzzword for me. I think I added that to my buzzword list. Maybe when I filmed that video, I don't remember. But this one is she's going to a finishing school. So, okay, close enough. Boarding school, finishing school, I'll take it. And students are trained in every accomplishment suitable for young ladies. Music, dancing, etiquette, and strangely, poison making, fencing, and lock picking. I don't need to know anything else. This is probably the one I'm looking forward to most out of all of the Enclave books that have been released. So I'm looking, like, released, teasered, you know what I mean. So I'm really looking forward to that one, though. I've never read this author before. I don't really know anything else about it besides that and what the back cover says. And I'm just like, ooh, that sounds really good, actually. So looking forward to that one. My last book for February is The Dreams We Knew by Rachel Scott McDaniel. And this is set in the 1920s, if the cover didn't give it away. And I'm very intrigued about this one because not only is it like a murder mystery, the main girl is, let's see, how did it say? She walks a delicate line between her privileged upbringing and her murky past. She was adopted into wealth, but then also has to deal with the legacy of her birth father and notorious crime boss. In an act of defiance, she sheds the smothering label of society misfit by carving her own path as a private investigator. And I'm just intrigued right there because murder mystery about our main girl. She's an investigator. We do have the detective male lead, which is kind of a second chance. So I'm not a big fan of that one typically. But if the rest of the book wins me over, then I typically don't care if it's second chance. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. In March, I have 3 books, and the first one is releasing on the 7th, and that is Ties of Legacy by Melanie Sellier. I don't really know anything about this book. I don't really want to know anything about this book because I'm going to be very disappointed that I can't read it right now. And all I really need to know, though, is it is connected to her new series, and that means I'm going to read it. Her new series is not quite fairy tale or retellings, and I'll talk about, the second book is releasing in May, so we'll talk about that one here in a bit. The first book is releasing here in December as of me filming this, and it probably will already be out by the time I post this video, but this is going to be a book, I think she said a novella, a short story, something like that, in this world, in that world, not this world, in that world with that new series, so I'm going to check it out, obviously. Also in March, I have on the 18th is Break My Fall by Lynn H. Blackburn. I don't honestly remember much about this character that we were being introduced to, or was it the main guy? One of them is connecting from the first book, and I don't remember who it is, so I'm going to have to like re-jog my memory of the first book. But I do remember really enjoying the first book, and this being book 2, I thought I would check it out. It's going to have probably family drama and secrets, and that's kind of how it was in the first book, and it's really featuring like these 4 cousins. And so I'm looking forward to continuing the series because the prior book really impressed me. I've read other books by this author, and I definitely liked that one the best. My last book for March is releasing on the 25th, and that is Hope's Enduring Echo by Kim Vogel-Sawyer. I have read many books by this author and have enjoyed quite a few of them, so I'm really looking forward to her newest book. I do think it's really interesting though, this one is also about the discovery of fossilized bones, like dinosaur bones and all of that. That has been a trend in Christian fiction for the last year or two. I think this is probably book 6 that I know of. And that's just off the top of my head. If I looked, I'm sure I'd find more. I'm not sure why that's been a trend in the industry, because I haven't noticed that at all in the secular market. Not that I pay close enough to their micro trends, if you will. But I do think that's very interesting that we have yet another one about ancient bones being found, and one of the main characters being what is it, a paleontologist or whatever, the person who studies bones? Something like that. I don't know. It's one of the ologies. So I'm going to read it because it's by this author. I'll be honest, I'm not incredibly intrigued by the plot, but her books always have just a very sweet story and message in them, so I'm gonna read it. Okay, 2 books for the spring sometime that I don't have dates for their official release date would be Road Trip Redemption by Becca Warville. This one is definitely book 3 in the series because there's spoilers for the first book, so I'm not gonna really talk about this one much, but look how cute this cover is. I still have to read book 2, but the author is going to be doing a Kickstarter here in the beginning of January for this book, and I will most likely back it because I am looking forward to it. I liked book 1, so I'm hoping to get book 2 and 3 through that Kickstarter, and that will be great fun. Also, I believe sometime in the spring is going to be Rising from the Galaxy by A.E. Hendricks. This is book 3, and I just forgot the series name. This is book 1 and 2. I backed those on Kickstarter, so this one I probably will also back on Kickstarter, and it is the final book in... It said saga, but it sounds like it's actually going to be a trilogy, which that is actually really nice to me. When you have a saga, I think of like it's going to be like 5+ books, and that's just a big commitment in my opinion, especially as you wait for them to release. So I'm really excited. This is just going to be a 3-book series, it sounds like, maybe. And so that one's going to be releasing. I'm looking forward to this one after the ending of book 2, which I discussed. I think I've already posted that recent reads and I've already discussed it, but that ending really got me. So now I'm really looking forward to this 3rd book, and then I also just want happiness for certain characters. So those are releasing sometime in the spring, and then they're also going to be launched early on Kickstarter. Hello my friends, Editing Lindsey here. If you see a mess around me, no you don't. No you don't. This is editing day. This is a representation of my brain. Okay, but after I filmed this video, I found out about a series I am so excited for it that I just have to share about, because it is garden-centered, gardening-themed fairy tale retellings. It was made for me. They wrote them for me. I'm so excited for all of them. It is actually, though, a multi-authored collection, and so going in order of how they're releasing, let's talk about it. I don't think these are the final covers, but I real quick just wanted to talk about them because I'm very excited. So releasing on March 28th is Bleeding Heart by Kendra E. Ardnek. She is also one of the authors from the multi-authored collection series with the Cornerstone that I've been talking about in this video. So there's that. And the thing is with these blurbs on Amazon is they don't have what retelling it's of. So we're going to have a game, okay? We're going to play a game real quick, and I'm going to just tell you what the little sentence it has is, and we are going to guess what it is. You know, let's just have fun. This video is long enough, we're going to add to it. So, Bleeding Heart says, her life has fallen apart only for her to discover that it was a lie all along. So I'm thinking Rapunzel, Sleeping Beauty maybe even? Maybe I'm leaning towards Rapunzel. I think that would be fun. I feel like this author has done like all of the retellings, so it could be an obscured one. It could be the Goose Girl. I don't know. Again, A Garden of Fairy Tales is the series name. Sign me up. Sign me up. Okay, I had to do some snooping. So it looks like it's 7 or 8. I can't remember now. But all of them were on Amazon except one. And that's this one that's releasing on April 4th. And that's Daylily by Madeline Kurzbergen. I'm so sorry. That's probably not right. I'm terrible with names. Y'all are going to get so frustrated at me in this video of how I butcher people's names because I'm frustrated at my own self. I have no info about this one at all. I could not find it on Amazon yet. I believe this is the author's debut one. I literally found it out by going through the hashtag that the different authors have been sharing because I was determined to find out who was all in this collection. And I actually haven't read anyone in this collection except Sarah Baran, I was snooping on her Amazon page and that's how I found it. I feel like a mad scientist over here. Forgive me. It is like 9 in the morning. I should be sleeping. In all reality, I really should be. So anyway, Sarah Baran is the one that I am most looking forward to because I've read her books before, but I'm reading all of these. Again, gardening-centered fairy tales, sign me up. So Sarah's is releasing on April 11th. And it's titled Snapdragon. And then the little tagline says, a spunky florist, a dying kingdom, a bond that could change the fate of a realm. And then it has that it's featuring the tropes of found family, grumpy sunshine, and hidden identity. Do you know how much I love found family and hidden identity? I'm sold, I'm ready. Give me. I am excited. I honestly don't know what this one is. I don't really even have an idea of a guess for that one. And I don't care. I am going to read it. Then on April 18th, we have Carnation. And the author's name is Yakira Goldsberry? Maybe? I'm sorry. I don't know about that. April 18th, and the little sentence says, Daru will do anything for his father's approval. Sylviana will do anything to help him. And it doesn't have any tropes. It still says it's to come. So this one's kind of like, okay, we can't really guess well at this one, I feel like. Because that really could be almost anything. Is there a fairy tale that has to do with gaining a parent's approval? It could be a reverse Snow White. Maybe? I'm not sure. I don't know. On April 25th, Pea Flower by Jessica A. Tanner releases. And it says, her kingdom is under attack. His brother is her fiancé. And so the tropes are an evil lady in waiting and a princess with an animal sidekick. That's a little vague for me to try to guess, but I'm going to go again with the Goose Girl. I feel like that's a very fair guess for most of these. The Goose Girl or Puss in Boots. It depends. Like, is the animal a part of the retelling? Or is that just like, you know, an added thing? I'm not sure. Pea Flower. Is it the Princess and the Pea? That feels a little too obvious. Is that it? I feel like the authors, if they happen to watch this, they're going to just kind of be a little like, over me trying to guess and fail. I feel like I'm failing, but that's fine. If you want to guess for these, please do in the comments. I feel like this would be a really fun game. And then if anyone knows, feel free to put it in the comments. Like, authors, feel free to share. But if y'all are waiting for like actual springtime to do like big cover reveals and announcements and all that, that's fine. That's totally fine. Just humor me in my excitement, okay? And then releasing on May 9th is Golden Lotus by Megan Myron Bennett. And it says, she can never leave her home. He must battle a forever winter to save her. So obviously my brain instantly goes to the Snow Queen. But it could still be Rapunzel. I'm hoping one of these is a Rapunzel just because I love Rapunzel retellings. And it's got the trope as the chosen one, the hero's journey, and friends to lovers. This is probably one of the ones out of the collection. Like, obviously, I'm so excited for Sarah Baran's one, but I'm also very curious about this one. Hello, my friends. Editing Lindsey here again. Y'all are just seeing all the messes in my room. It's fine. I was just editing this clip I just filmed, and I forgot one. Let's see, what are you doing? Okay, so releasing on May 2nd is Forget Me Not, and that is by J.F. Rogers. It says, they were inseparable until a cursed mirror shattered everything between them. Now she'll cross snow and ice to save him, but what if the boy she loved is gone forever? And it's got the tropes as friends to lovers, magical corruption, and a perilous quest. My brain also goes to the Snow Queen with this. But a cursed mirror... Yeah, this one has to be Snow Queen, right? The cursed mirror? I think of like other ones with the mirror would be like Snow White, but a cursed mirror, Journey, Snow and Ice, this one has to be the Snow Queen. I'm going to be shocked if it's not the Snow Queen. So sorry I forgot to add this one in, pushing it in right now. And I'm looking forward to all of these. Back to the other editing Lindsey. And then the last one in the series is releasing on May 16th. So they're running one a week from March 28th to May 16th. And I don't have a cover for this one yet. And that's Lilac by Mattson Carlin. So it says, she's a spoiled princess. He's a spy protecting a deadly secret. Danger hunts them both. And it's got the tropes as enemies to more, concealed identity, and an unexpected protector. I'm thinking maybe Aladdin? Maybe? I don't know. I'm totally guessing with this. I think it's so fun. I am not positive that Daylily that I said comes out on April 4th. I'm guessing it's coming out then because there's one every week except that week. And again, that one's not on Amazon yet. So I'm guessing on that. But I am so excited about this. I have followed most of the authors that are a part of this. I need to follow the rest of them so I can get all the teasers and get really excited because gardening themed fairy tale retellings, that's just exactly my cup of tea. Completely. Like, that is something I didn't know I needed in my life and I'm ready for it. Unfortunately, I have to wait till end of March and through May and April, but I'm excited. Okay, so I just had to pop in and share about those because I just discovered those after filming and I am really, I'm pretty tickled pink about the idea of them. So I hope I have some amazing successes in it. And for April, I have 3 books as well. And the first one is releasing on the 8th. That is A Luminary by Shonda Schroeder. I'm terrible with names. If that's not obvious, I am so sorry to any author or anyone who's like, Lindsey, you can't pronounce nothing. I am aware. I am fully aware I can pronounce literally nothing. So I apologize. I apologize. This one is really interesting though because it's set in a country that values art above everything else. And I feel like that's such a twist to how it typically is. Like, we value math or science, but in this world it's art. And I'm very intrigued by that concept. The main girl has a goal of having a position at an academy. I like the academy idea, and I'm very intrigued by it. The main guy, maybe, I assume this is a romance. You put a boy and a girl name on the back cover, I'm going to assume there's romance. And he never planned to become king. He never wanted to become king, but when his father dies suddenly, he is thrusted into the middle of a coronation preparations and assassination attempts. And so he decides to hide in another country, and that sounds like that's the country that she's going to go study in. I don't know. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. This cover is also very intricate. This is one of those covers that I'm like, I can't wait to read the book and then look at the cover because I feel like there's like little Easter eggs in this cover. You have a teacup, a flame, a sword, a hand, a little scroll, a pen. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. I'm very curious. It looks like though this is book 1 in a series. So I feel like I'm not going to have answers in this first book. Bummer. Releasing on the 15th is The Curious Inheritance of Blakely House by Joanna Davidson Politano. Look at that cover. If you know this author, it's going to be gothic. It's going to be fun. Well, okay. It's going to be enjoyable. Fun might sound like the wrong word. It's going to be intriguing. Her books always are fascinating because when you start the book, the first chapter is like way towards the end. But you don't have spoilers, but you've got to like go back and catch up. It is a journey. It is so different. At first you're like, what in the world is going on? But I like it for that reason. So I'm really looking forward to this one. It's a clever woman, a contested wheel, and an estate that does not easily give up its secrets. This kind of house right here, like this 1900s Victorian house, sold. I'm sold. Right there in general, and then knowing this author's prior books and enjoying almost all of them, I'm really looking forward to reading this one. And she is a clockmaker and a tinker, which just sounds fun. And then, I don't know, just like reading the black blurb, I'm very intrigued by it. And I'm trying not to be too excited for it because I have to wait till April when it releases, and that's kind of a bummer. But it does look very interesting. I think the author said somewhere that it's going to have like a slight steampunkish vibe to it as well. Like it's not full-on historical or something. Maybe that's not true. But I feel like I saw her say that somewhere, maybe in a newsletter. I really need to screenshot things and put them in a folder on my phone when like I see these kind of things, but I don't do that, which is a pity on me, so I should do that. But I'm really looking forward to that one. On April 25th, Ties of Dust by Deborah Grace White is releasing. This is also part of that Tethered Heart series, so I don't have the cover for this one or Melanie Sellier's yet. They're going to be doing cover releases for this whole series. Those are the two I am most excited for because I have read from these authors before and their descriptions sound very interesting. This is a standalone story, but it's also going to be kind of a prequel to her upcoming fantasy series. And so I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, like I'm just now finding out, oh, there's a new series coming by her. Okay, great, fantastic. I am really excited. These authors, Melanie Sellier and Deborah Grace White, are actually sisters, and that explains so much to me. Earlier in the year, I binged all of Melanie Sellier's fairy tale retellings, which y'all have been hearing me talk about from the last multiple recent reads. And then in November, I read Deborah Grace White's the Kingdom Tales series, and I really enjoyed those. I read all 6 of them within like 2-3 weeks. They were really good. I really enjoyed them. So I have to read her other series in the new year for sure, her other fairy tale retelling series. But the fact she has another series coming out, I'm excited. I'm excited. This one though has me very intrigued because even though this new Tethered Hearts multi-authored standalone series, even though they're not fairy tale retellings, they all have different elements that have me excited. So this one, Ties of Dust, though, it is, I'm trying to think, how did she say it on Instagram? The main guy is the crown prince of a country that desperately needs a marriage alliance, if you will. And there's bonds and everything, like, you know, soulmate bonds, which, do I believe in that stuff? No, but I think it's very entertaining to read about. And he finds out he does not have a bond, a connection with the princess he's supposed to marry, but her bodyguard. And I'm just like, oh, wait a second. So, yeah, that's, like, I feel so bad for him, but I'm going to be reading it in great expectations. So, looking forward to that one. Speaking of Melanie Sellier, in May, book 2 in her new series is coming out, and that is Legacy of Glass. She just, as of filming this, did the cover release for it in her newsletter, and I am very much excited for this series. Book 1, like I said earlier, is releasing here in a few days, like the next day after Christmas, which I'm filming this a little early. I don't know when I'll be able to get it up. Hopefully on the last day of the year. That is my goal, to get this video posted on December 31st. We will see if that works out. But it is basically it's kind of a retelling, but not. If I remember right, she said the series is like what happens after the fairy tale. So book 1 is Beauty and the Beast, where what happens after all of that in this country, where that is like the legacy. And then this one is obviously going to be connected to Cinderella, and I just think that's going to be so fun and different and inventive, and I'm just very much in a fairy tale retelling kick. If my Goodreads was not obvious, I'm going hoarse again, I'm so sorry. But I am very much looking forward to this series. Okay, one book I randomly found out about that I am intrigued by. Like, I'm not sure how it will go for me because I'm picky on books that have boys as their main character for middle grade. So this is The Unlikely Intrusion of Adams Klein, okay, by John Greco. And this one is, okay, so this blurb is tiny, so maybe I can read it for y'all. 14-year-old Adams Klein, the Adams is throwing me, Klein lives by one simple rule: don't do anything that might change the course of history. To protect him from a murderous tyrant, Adams was hidden away in the year 2015. A refugee from a distant future, his existence is a secret. But when he witnesses a tragedy unfolding, he can't stand by and do nothing. Now history is being changed, and Adams and his new friends are being hunted by a villain who will stop at nothing to retain his iron grip on the world of the future, even if that means destroying the past. And this is by Moody Publishers, so I'm going to assume there's going to be some faith content. But I don't know. I'm curious. I am very curious about this. This could either be like a shocking success, or a fail for me, I won't lie. Like, it could go one way or the other. We will see. We will see. And that is releasing on May 6th. So I guess we'll find out. I have 2 books releasing on May 20th, and the first one is A Lesson in I can't say this word. Propriety. I can't say this word. This is terrible. Propriety. I know this word. Again, this is one of those words. I know it. I can give it to you, the description of it. I could probably even spell it for you, but can I pronounce it? No. Propriety. Well, my tongue is broken. That's fun. Okay, so this is by Jen Turano, though, and I am very much looking forward to it because it's by Jen Turano. Her books are very humorous, and this one has me really excited, though, because it's an academy for young ladies in, like, the early 1900s, late 1800s. I'm good. Like, I am finally getting some academy books this year for 2025, and I am thrilled to pieces about it because I don't have enough boarding school, academy, finishing school books in my life, in my opinion. So this is the start of a new series, and I am just really looking forward to this one. This is definitely going to be one of my more anticipated books for the year. The cover's not my favorite out of all of her books, but the main girl on the cover, she looks like she's got, like, mischievousness, so I figure that's very accurate for the actual inside of the book as well. My second book releasing on the 20th of May is An Unexpected Grace by Tracy Peterson and Kimberly Woodhouse. This is book 3, and I think the final book in the Jewels of Kalispell. I'm going to have people from Montana upset at me. I'm so sorry. We've already learned I can't pronounce diddly squat, y'all. I'm so sorry. So this is a series that I really liked the first book. I liked the second book. I'm hoping this third book I really like. We will find out. The covers for all of these have just been absolutely stunning. And I know we're not supposed to be judging things by the covers, but we all do it anyway. And I don't really know too much about in this one. I'm trying to think if we know these characters. I don't remember. I'm going to have to do research, but that is May to-do list. Yes, that is in fact then. I'm looking forward to that one just because I've read the prior books in the series. Okay, another one I randomly found, also being published by Moody Publishing, like the Adams Clean one, is releasing on June 3rd, and that is Keep 'em Flying by Nell Carter Brown. And this is a, what is it? Heroes on the Homefront Mystery Series, book number 1. It is middle grade, and the main girl is a 6th grader, Riley, and she's determined to win, even if she has to gulp down her nerves and speak in public. The Historical Society is having a contest with a cash prize and an all-expense-paid trip to where her great-grandma once lived. But winning an essay about her brave relative Rosie the Riveter in World War II may launch Riley on a far bigger adventure far bigger than she imagined. Oh, so maybe it's modern day and we're going to go back in time like World War II? Maybe? I'm not sure, actually. I was thinking this was going to be set in World War II, but you know, this probably is going to go maybe back and forth with her research. I don't know. I'm intrigued, though. I don't see a lot of Christian middle grade being published really anymore, which is really unfortunate. So I'm looking forward to trying this one out. I'm going to try it out. Like, you know, it's just going to happen. And then book 2 in that series is going to be releasing, I think, in the last half of 2025. And then my last book for today, oh, my leg's going numb, just a moment. My last book for today is going to be releasing on June 17th, and that is The Atlas of Untold Stories by Sarah Brunsfeld. I've read the author's prior 2 books and enjoyed them, so obviously I'm looking forward to this one as well. I think the cover is really cute. It is about 2 daughters and their mom that go on a road trip. I'm trying to think, where are they going through? As the 3 women embark on a 9-day road trip to visit significant literary sites through America's heartland. They hope to find inspiration through the works and lives of literary greats. I know this is going to have a lot of references to classic books, which will probably be over my head because I don't read classics, but I am very curious. This author has done lovely faith content in her prior books, so I'm going to check it out. Okay, this is just me being a nosy Nelly. I am super duper curious what color the spine is going to be on this book. If you know, don't tell me, but place your guess in the comments, my friends, because you've got the green, the blue, the dark navy, and then the yellow. I feel like it's going to be yellow. That's my guess. Personally, I'm fine with that. I need a few more actual yellows probably on my bookshelf, so I'm gonna guess yellow. Let me know y'all's thoughts. I always love seeing the spines of these books. Like, we always see the covers, but I get so excited when on like Instagram or wherever we get to see the spines of books, and I think that's me with my rainbow shelves talking, but I'm excited for it. So there we go. Those are, I think, all the books I'm looking forward to that are releasing in the first half of 2025. Now, I've been trying to pay attention for more indie authors, especially Christian indie authors, but those typically aren't shared until a couple months out, maybe. Typically, you don't get them. You don't get them months and months in advance, and I filmed this video here at the end of December, and I'm talking about books that are releasing in 6 months. So I'm sure there's going to be other books that are going to be added to this list throughout the year, but I won't probably make another video unless there's a bunch of them that just pop up. And I am looking forward to these, though. I'm looking forward to other ones that I think are going to come out. So like Christina Bayer, who is the author of the Secrets of Wormdale series, she has a spin-off series of that series coming out, but I don't know when the first book is. I don't know, I'm looking forward to it. And then, of course, I'm always going to hope that Erin Mangum has a new book coming out, but I have no information on that. And you know, that kind of thing. So there are, I'm sure, other authors that are going to be releasing books that I will be very excited about, but I just don't have that information yet. So, shucks, but I think I have enough right here to keep me excited for at least a little bit. And that is the end of this video. I actually do have some for like July and August, because I was noticing a lot of traditional Christian publishers like Bethany House, Revell, Tyndale, all of them, they were sharing books all the way out to August, midsummer, second quarter. And I was kind of shocked about that because that's new. Like in the prior years, you would only get that first quarter. And it would be always so difficult, I would feel like, to make this list because I would have no books in June because none of them had been shared by the traditional publishers. So this was a really big change this year to have 6 months out. So plus, 6 months plus, really 8 months out. And I have a good list already started for the last half of the year. But for the first half of this year, I'm excited. I am quite excited. This is definitely a record for me, I think, with my anticipated releases videos, how many this is. But mind you, there were a couple series in here, so that added up, to say the least. I'm gonna let y'all go, though. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed fangirling a bit with me. If any of these caught your eye, please let me know. Let's get excited about them. Again, this isn't me recommending them, but we can be excited about the potential of these books, I think. So I'm looking forward to these. I'd love to know which ones y'all are looking forward to, whether on this list or other ones coming out. Let me know, and I will see y'all in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I am Lindsey from the blog booksforchristiangirls.blogspot.com, where I'm not sure what my reviewing schedule is. Really, I'm just trying to review twice a week if I can. If I can, that's great. If not, well, shucks. So I'm trying my very best there, and then I'm on Instagram both as Books for Christian Girls and then book reviews by Lindsey. Notice my name is spelled with an E. And I will see y'all here, there, everywhere. I'm on TikTok, Goodreads, Facebook. I'm on all the social media sites. And then I'm here on YouTube. So yeah, I'll see y'all here, there, and everywhere. I hope you have an absolutely lovely rest of your week and start to the new year. I will see y'all next time. Bye!